He- Hello, I am Insurrectionist Marxist. My name is Juan. This is my co-host.
Base God Sequoia, but you can just call me Sequoia because Base God Sequoia is a long shit.
Yeah, okay. So, in this mini episode, we will be discussing Jaydin Ledford. Think about the things you have heard about Okanagan County. The largest fires in the state of Washington's history. An Air Force pilot drawing a penis in the sky. But recently, a quote self-proclaimed Marxist um, threatened to shoot multiple police officers and sheriffs across the state of Washington for opposing gun control legislation. So he is actually taking a pro-gun control stand. Um, so, what are your thoughts on this from a Marxist point of view, as that's what this podcast seeks to discuss things from a point of?
You know, kind of libtardy in the whole pro gun control thing, but threatening to kill police officers for not upholding as based.
Yeah. So basically, like, I'm kind of confused by it because the exact quote was, I think I'll put a bullet in the head of Ozzy Kinzovich, or I cannot pronounce that police officer's last name. Um, but I mean, he was threatening to shoot him. So clearly, in the sense of like revolution or resistancy things, he's cool with guns because he threatened to shoot the guy with the gun. Um, Although it was for opposing gun control. Um,
You can definitely tell that he's like off left because it's I'm gonna shoot you for not upholding the.
yeah, it was his Facebook post. I went through his Facebook. And he does support AOC to some extent at least. Um, but the exact thing was Bill I-389 or whatever bill it was is law. And that followed by I will put a bullet in the skull of the guy who won't uphold that said law. Um, so yeah, his profile picture is Karl Marx wearing sunglasses, by the way.
Like a boss.
Like an absolute unit. So so the reason we're doing an episode on this relatively small issue is he is from a county of 40,000 people, which coincidentally um both Sukhoi and I are from. I have since moved out of the county, thankfully. But Sukhoi has not. So let us give you some background on the county. How about you start?
Um, uh, Sucks.
Yeah, slightly more in depth than that. Um, it is overwhelmingly Trump supporters, with a few liberals there. So I mean, obviously,
Hippies.
yeah, there. I mean, there. Like we said in our last episode, a lot of our perspective of Eastern Washington was based off of that county. Um, and I mean, there are some hippies there that are kind of Bernie cratty, and then I don't know, there might be a few hippie like Ancom type people, but I mean, very very small amount. I mean, I was surprised to see that this guy said he was a Marxist and was from Okanagan County. Um, I was kind of under the
Yeah, I cried
impression,
tears of joy.
uh, I was kind of under the
I'm not
impression,
the only. I'm not the only one.
um, but I kind of thought we might be the only two Marxist from uh Okanagan County. Um, but whatever. Um, so yeah, and that guy is currently being held in the Spokane County Jail, in Spokane, Washington. Um,
Breakout time.
yeah. Um, and by the way, based on his charges, which are currently cyber stalking and um, I mean, I couldn't. That was what was listed. And then there was obviously threatening a police officer. The charge for actually assaulting a police officer is 364 days, and the charge for cyberstalking is generally about a year. So he should be in prison for 2 years maximum. If he is not, it's I mean, politically motivated, obviously. Um, yeah. Um, so anyway, so why should leftists view him as good, even though he is not for gun control?
Mm, pig kill.
Sorry, what?
Because, he wants to kill pigs.
Um, essentially, yeah. And I mean, that even though that is a bit of an ANCOM perspective, like I mean, obviously the police officers in the U.S. now are they're bad. Whether or not you think a police force is necessary in the hypothetical socialist country or communist country or whatever, uh,
Communist country.
yeah. I mean, whether or not you think they're necessary then, I don't know a leftist who would not agree that pigs are trash in the United States and obviously other countries like Western Europe and stuff like that.
And it definitely, it gives support for people that, don't like the police. They see that this guy's a Marxist and like, oh, what's Marxism? It definitely opens up to more leftist open people like liberals,
For
like
sure.
bleeding heart liberals, libtards.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, so um it's I guess we'll see. This happened about a week ago. The investigation on him began February 5th, but he was arrested about a week ago. So we'll see how it plays out. He doesn't have a court date yet, um, but like I said, he's currently being held at the Spokane County Jail.
Hashtag free Jaden.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he should be freed. If he gets more than 2 years, for his crimes, by the way, like why not do I mean, I don't know what we could do, but like, you know, why not do something like, yeah, I don't know. This is probably
Change.org.
speaking what?
Change.org.
I mean, this is probably kind of just speaking from the perspective of someone or of me thinking it's cool that he's from the same tiny county as I am. But I mean, it's bullshit if he gets more than 2 years in prison or jail or whatever.
I would hope it's not just because we're from the same county. I would hope all leftists are like, you know, it's shitty that he would get more than 2 years for a thing that would be only two.
Yeah. And like also, why not rally around someone? Like we obviously there's a bunch of broad causes that like we all support. Um, why not do like rally around this one specific guy and like his internment? Or I mean, if it turns out to be more than 2 years, which it very well could be, as we all know what the U.S. quote unquote justice system is like. Why not like kind of rally around him?
My free speech.
I mean, I mean, it is kind of it would be hilarious to see like pro-gun 2A people rally around him because of like free speech. Not that it would happen. I mean, obviously their hypocrisy would prevent them from that.
Jaden is the new Lenin.
Um, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Or actually, speaking of Lenin, just really quick, the Lenin statue in Seattle, they're trying to tear it down. Actually,
Boo.
so really quick, because I think we are just about done talking about Jaydin Ledford. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Um, uh, we would you like us to do a Washington State like leftist kind of news thing? I mean, do you think that's a good idea?
I like it.
Um, I mean, there's plenty of stuff to talk about. Like, obviously, this week they're trying to take down the London statue, and this Ledford guy got arrested. Um, but I
We
mean,
should get some of the media boys on here.
the space nuns and stuff. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
we should.
people group chat.
Yeah, and I've said this before. Or by the way, the group chat you reference is a Cascadian Independence group chat. If you'd like to know more about that, listen to our last episode. But the mm, oh right, so any if we're open to any guests, we decided to make this bi-weekly. Uh, Sometimes with one of these like I guess mini episodes in between. But if you would like to be a guest, just DM either at insurrectionist period Marxist or at uh,
Based.god.sequoia.
on Instagram, and we
Oh wait, no, yeah, because it's no.
um or oh you changed your name, you mean? Hello. Or yeah, so just DM one of us on Instagram, and assuming we don't have more than one applicant, we will get back to you. Um, I think he's having some problems with his microphone, so yeah, I'm not hearing him. I'm going to or yeah, so I mean we're basically done. So yeah, just DM us. Our usernames will be in the description of this episode. And comment any thoughts you have about Jaydin Ledford or anything else we mentioned in this episode. So, yep. Thank you for listening and stuff.